Here out on the Pacific Coast Highway. I'm in Rincon Beach, near Carpinteria, near Santa Barbara in Ventura County. And it's a gorgeous day, as you can tell. But, you know, I want to ask you as a prepper, somebody who drives a lot, what would happen if you were here and there was an earthquake? It's interesting to think about, right? I mean, I'm not thinking tsunami here, although we are very close to the ocean, as you can see, just a few hundred feet, some big waves going out there. But what would you do? I mean, you're in your car, you've got an earthquake going on somewhere. You're feeling it. I was in the Loma Prieta earthquake, and I can tell you I was riding a motor scooter at the time, and it went all over the road. So you can definitely tell there's an earthquake, right? So you pull over to the side of the road, and you discover that the earthquake has completely devastated city services. Maybe some of the road up ahead of you is bad. You can't travel. Would you be prepared to stay for a couple of days until help came? This is what I ask people all the time when they tell me, oh, prepping is just for conspiracy theorists, and it shows a lack of faith in our government, which I don't have anyway. But regardless of that, people are very dismissive of the whole idea of prepping. And I'm not sure why, because everywhere in our country, with the possible exception of Hawaii, you've got a lot of bad weather issues, bad issues with earthquakes. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know that the Mississippi Valley is prone to earthquakes. It's just been a couple of hundred years since it happened. But you do have earthquakes in places other than California. So don't think if you're sitting in Indiana that you're completely exempt, because you're not. Now, even without that, you've got tornadoes, you've got hurricanes, you've got winter storms, you've got ice storms, you've got black ice, you've got a lot of different things going on. So it pays to be prepared for, no matter what, right? So we're here in a really pretty place, but that could change and it could become deadly. So what I always do is when I travel, or even when I don't travel, I keep a few things in my trunk so that I could survive 3 to 5 days if help were slow to arrive. So what you're looking at right there this is my little kitchen. I use this all the time. It's just been so handy. It's a cook set, and of course I have a stove in the car. I have like one of the Sterno type stoves, but I also have a stove that's multi-fuel. There's a lot of branches and things that wash up here on the beach, so there's plenty of fuel here. So I got this, and it has a knife in it. It has all kinds of implements, eating implements. It has a pair of cutting gloves. It has a mini chopping board. It has a lot of things. So it's been by far one of the most useful things I've had. I use it when I have picnics, right? So there's no disaster, but I have picnics. I also try to keep at least one type of cooler. Now, you're not going to be able to get ice and stuff, but what'll happen is if you have a good cooler, or if you have a bag like Aldi sells, that's just fine. That keeps whatever food you have on hand fresher a little bit longer, so you can last on that without having to worry about bacteria and things. This is the cutting board, actually, that goes with my little kitchen. Put that back in there. I have a first aid kit. Obviously, you should always have that in there. I have 2 days worth of clothes, because in a disaster, one of the things that will improve your morale the most is being able to at least have clean underwear and socks on, and having a little soap, maybe a little water, so that you can feel human, right? And it'll just lift your spirits tremendously. So I do have a change of clothes, a jacket, a parka, or not a parka, but a windbreaker type jacket, and then I have something for rain, just in case, right? So those are just the basics that I have in my trunk. When I'm going on a long trip, I might add more clothing. I might add extra water. You do want to have a gallon or two of water in your trunk. And I know that storing water in a trunk is not that great for it. You can get a lot of bacteria. So you do need to have some sort of filtration system as well. I have one of those weekend type filtration systems. I don't know that I have it. I have it with me, but it's in the back somewhere. So again, first aid kit, something that will help you cook. If you have to cook on the beach for a while, again, a warm meal or a cup of tea or coffee will do a lot to improve your morale, keep you calm, that sort of thing. So if you're traveling anywhere, and especially here in California, you want to be prepared for whatever comes your way. So I encourage you, look at your trunk, get yourself some essential items and keep them in there, because you never know where you're going to be when the next disaster strikes.